After the Ministry of Home Affairs refuted claims of over 70 drug plane landings, News 5 decided to dig into our own archives, and what we found is telling. Turns out 2020 and 2021 were indeed two of the busiest years on record for narco-trafficking activity in Belize. In fact, 2020 kicked off with a drug plane landing as early as January. So while the ministry insists the number is closer to 25, the reality is those years were far from quiet.
I said, but that don't sound right. So I turned the sound down on my TV and I said, oh, that's an aeroplane. But I don't know where it landed or I know it landed, but I don't know where it landed. But the only place I can know about is Pine Ridge, out in the sticks, no? Where the Mennonites are working, building a road.
That month also saw a drug plane landing in the Paynes Creek area in Toledo District. February 2020 kicked off with a drug plane landing near Monkey River. Authorities only discovered its burnt remains. 2 weeks later, this drug plane landed in Belize District with 69 bales of cocaine.
This morning, early, around 12:15, 12:30 thereabout, a truck was observed leaving Venezuela, heading our way.
The year saw 6 additional drug plane landings, according to the Ministry of Home Affairs. And who could forget that Independence Day drug plane landing right in the middle of a farm in Orange Walk? It was a daring move that ended with 5 people detained, including the farm owner and even a minor. But that wasn't the end of it. Just weeks later, in October, another drug plane touched down in a remote area between Shipyard and Crooked Tree. That one was torched and buried, a clear attempt to erase the evidence. And then again in December of 2020, this time in southern Belize. These incidents paint a vivid picture of just how active those years were in Belize's narco-trafficking landscape.
We have been dealing with these plane landings for quite some time now, and it is extremely difficult to prevent all of them from landing. We often do not get credit for those that we averted, and we would be bashed for those, the very, very few that do find their way in our country.
10 drug planes landed in 2020, and that number climbed to 15 in 2021, according to the Ministry of Home Affairs. And the year got off to an interesting start. In late January, authorities discovered the burnt remains of a twin-engine aircraft in an area between Lemonal and Crooked Tree. Authorities detained 9 men in the area, including law enforcement officers. Just 4 months later in May, a fully intact drug plane landed in a remote area near Blue Creek, Orange Walk District.
The police department was notified, as we usually are, by our counterparts, that there were 3 trucks, 3 suspected airplanes leaving South America, heading in the direction of Central America. And I think approximately 1 or 2 a.m. this morning, it is confirmed that one of those airplanes landed in the Blue Creek area of the Orange Walk district.
That same month, a suspected drug plane crash landed off the coast of Placencia. What about the highway landing near Bladen Village in November 2021? That landing saw a standoff between law enforcement and heavily armed men, and the subsequent detention of more than 20 bales of cocaine.
Upon arrival there, they saw the plane on ground, vehicles and persons around, which would indicate that cargoes was being unloaded from the plane.
November 2021 saw 4 drug plane landings across Belize City. Notably, our records show that there were nowhere close to 70 reported drug plane landings between 2020 and 2021. The ministry notes that between 2022 and 2025, a total of 14 drug plane landings has been reported. Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.